Katherine Akey, the Photo Department Chair at Capitol Hill Arts Workshop, and today we're going to learn about chlorophyll prints. Chlorophyll prints are really a very simple photographic technique, something you can do at home with the materials you're able to find out in your garden or in your neighborhood. The process is printing photographs using the natural process of bleaching a leaf. Some examples you can see here are from the artist Ben Don, and then also from Robert Schultz. You can see here photographs, mainly portraits, printed onto leaves. Now the process is really simple. You need a few things. First thing you need is foliage. I did a test with just random leaves I picked up in my neighborhood. Some worked, some did not. The best recommendation is to use broadleaf, soft leaves, things from the undergrowth, things that are usually in the shade, rather than things that are waxier and firmer. I recommend playing around with a bunch of different ones and seeing what kind of results you get. You're also going to want maybe a stencil cut out of a thick board, like a Bristol paper or cardboard. Black and white negatives absolutely work best, and you can use any size negative you want, and if you have a picture you really love that you wish you could use, you can print it on Pictorico. I also tried a couple with tracing paper and Sharpie. You could use transparency as well. The final thing you're going to need if you don't have a contact printer is some paper and some tape. So that paper and tape is going to be used to hold the leaves and your negative or stencil or transparency still and steady and as pressed up against one another as possible. A contact printer is the best thing for you to use if you have one. If you don't have a contact printer on hand, which if you're not a photographer, you probably don't, you can use a picture frame. A picture frame will work really, really well in place of a contact printer. I tried doing a few of these up against a window in my house that has really, really good southerly exposure. The real challenge you're going to have is leaves have a tendency to dry up and shrink over the course of this process. And you want to get whatever your light blocking material is as flush against the leaf as possible. And that's not as easy to do up against a window as it is to do in, say, a picture frame, which can apply pressure and smush everything flat for you. You want to make sure, however you're putting this together, that the order of the objects is your negative or your light blocking material, then your leaf, then some sort of backer. So you want the light being able to filter through the negative or the light blocking material, hit the leaf, and then have some sort of backing holding it in place. Now the exposure time here is going to vary. I had mine out in direct sunlight for about 4 or 5 days worth of direct sun. Depending on the leaf, you may want to check it sooner. What you're going to look for is the sort of dried out, crisp looking coloration. I only had success with that on one of the kinds of leaves that I picked for the project. You can see on the others, some of that color is starting to come. In some of them, there doesn't look like a lot of change. Either they weren't left out in the sun for long enough, or that leaf just wasn't working for this process. When you go to take them apart, when you go to get your negative or your light blocking material apart from your leaf, you're going to want to be really gentle. They get very, very dry and very, very fragile, and they have a tendency sometimes to stick either to your backing or to the glass that you've put them against. So you have to handle them very, very carefully. Here we can see an example of mine that worked really well, a hosta leaf. It was in a picture frame along with another kind of leaf that I put some stenciling material over. That type of leaf, that other leaf, didn't work for me at all, no matter what application I used with it. I had the best success with this hosta leaf. Here you can see the sun bleaching that turned it sort of a pale tan, and then that nice green dark areas in the negative space. So out of the bunches of different kinds of leaves, I didn't have a lot of success. That's kind of part of the fun here. Going out, picking a bunch of different plants, picking different materials, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. This is not a fail-safe kind of practice. This is a practice in patience and experimentation. And once you find something that works, that you like, then there you have it. You can go back and execute some more chlorophyll prints. We'd love to see what you come up with. If you do some of these, make sure to share them with us on Instagram.